Varghese, what else do you want to touch upon next? There is, of course, news coming in from Manipur. There is news coming in from Gyanvapi. There is news about Neeraj Chopra as well. What is it that you would like to hit up next?
Well, next I would actually find out what happens in Manipur. In fact, Manipur, the fresh violence has been there. And
tomorrow is the assembly session in Manipur.
Tomorrow is the assembly session, Kabir.
And today we're learning about 3 more houses that have been burned.
In fact, yesterday it happened, and the papers have it with them. This is what is in Manipur. Government plans to supply essentials to tribal districts, is what is being said. The houses in Imphal were torched on Sunday. They have a picture of that. Commodities to be transported to Churachandpur through Assam and Mizoram with the help of army and other forces, as the route from Nagaland blocked by Methi groups. Medical supplies to the hill districts to be ensured through aerial route. Now, blockading and counter-blockading of routes leading to the hills or to the valley has become counterproductive to Manipur as a state as a whole, as the state is reeling under shortage of essential supplies. Now, the Manipur government will start transporting essential commodities to the hill district of Churachandpur from Monday, that is from today onwards. Supplies to the district, which is dominated by the tribal Kuki-Zo community, have been disrupted as critical highways have been blocked by women-led Methi groups. Transporters on Imphal have refused to apply to the area, citing the risk to their personal safety. In retaliation, on August 21st, a Kuki body reimposed the blockade on the Dimapur-Imphal National Highway 2 in Kangpopi district, a route through which essentials are supplied. So, as of now, the situation is not only about the violence, it is the blockading leading to shortage of essential supplies, not only to the hills, but also to the valley.
My question is, Varghese, how does the Chief Minister of Manipur, N. Biren Singh, now guarantee what he was talking about earlier, that I guarantee the safety of the Kuki-Zo community MLAs ahead of the assembly session,
but this
when
burning
things
of
are certainly
houses,
not in his control?
Exactly. So, burning of houses doesn't actually augur well for what he was planning to do on August 29th. When the session was supposed to start on August 29th, there was big question about whether security can be provided. But then when fresh violence breaks out, it only dents the confidence of the people who want to attend it. And the session is important because that is going to be the first platform where you will probably have the Kuki MLAs as well as the Methi MLAs coming on a common platform and probably some kind of dialogue to happen. And that is being ruined because of this violence.
So, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? Will the assembly session actually take place or not? Because we've seen it not take place on an earlier date as well.
Well, see, the issues about security.
And it's important that the assembly session takes place because that's what
it's important.
We've been saying it for the better part of four and a half months
because
now. That dialogue needs to take place.
See, the problem is the dialogue process has not happened. We had a peace committee that was a non-starter because it was announced at the height of the violence. It did not happen. We had several other back-channel talks happening which tried to bring the communities together. That did not happen. Then we had the Kuki MLA saying that, let the session start, we'll be boycotting it. And then again, talks are happening on that. So the issue is that if there's a common platform, somehow, some kind of dialogue should happen because this violence, Kabir, May 3rd, it has begun and we are at the end of August. So it's been running for almost 4 months to 4.5 months it's running. There's no end in sight. And still we are talking about Assam Rifles, Central Forces, Army, Police, all of them trying to man security. And then there's this huge blockade that's happening.
Absolutely.
Which is affecting the entire state and its economy.
NH2, which is the heartline of Manipur. That's what NH2 is. Visuals from the 27th of August, ladies and gentlemen, from Imphal. Essentially, the cacophony on the ground, it hasn't come down at all. It hasn't come down at all. And this is what people are worried about as well, that the law and order situation might be so out of hand that the people out there, the administration and the authorities might still not have the best picture, the most clear picture of exactly what's at play here.
Look at this. Most of the armed forces are in fact caught up between on one
proper
side,
checking everywhere. Everybody feels like an outsider in their own house.
This is the kind of situation that Manipur is in right now because there's no other option but to even rein in violence has become a problem because we can't rein in violence right now. After so many months, it's difficult to rein in violence because people are not coming to the dialogue table. So much of insistence coming in from the center saying that why don't the talks happen? But no matter what initiatives were taken, It's not happening. And the reason is that now tomorrow, which was August 29th, would have been the best way of actually starting somewhere, even if it was an informal dialogue process. That was the best option that could have started if the sessions had begun.
Because you know why we need more firmness on the ground is because even as we're showing you pictures of the recent raid of arms, fresh arms that have been recovered, still not as close to exactly the kind of sophisticated weaponry the people have on the ground. But yes, a picture to, of course, exuberate the kind of confidence we want to push out in terms to the people. This just in on the internet, and I'm reading this. It says a JNU professor on Manipur police's FIR over a book on the Anglo-Kuki War. An FIR filed by a Methi group states that the 2019 book, The Anglo-Kuki War 1917-1919, a frontier uprising against imperialism during the First World War, which a lot of people from the Kuki community have said that, we're the ones who first fought against the Britishers before any one of you did. We were the first to dissent against the imperial British. Cannot discredit Kuki history is what the JNU professor says. So you see, people are attacking each other's histories as well, constantly as well.
No,
the angle of narco-terror, angle of law and order
in
being
2023
out and discrediting each other's history.
Yeah,
when they don't know that it's collective history, it's beautiful history, and it's our history together, isn't it?
See, the Kuki Anglo-Indian, the Anglo-Kuki war that was there. What you rightly pointed out is also our history. In fact, it's a history of part of a history of India. So now the question over here is that you are having an FIR filed on a 2019 book in 2023.
Jesus.
That is actually what actually shows the kind of trouble that is there in Manipur, in the sense that both the communities are not ready to talk to each other, and that's the worrying part of it. So where does this end? You can't go on a battle, drawing battle lines every day. You can't just draw battle lines every day.
Another important aspect, another important update that I'm reading here on the internet, which also says, and many people who are watching the stream right now might be aware of this. And if anybody from Manipur, of course, watching the stream right now, do get down in the comment sections. And without calling out the other community, how about you put in solutions? Let's talk about solutions, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're essentially missing. So if there are people from Manipur in the stream, on the stream, watching us live right now, do get down in the comment sections. Help us out with some solutions for the public's perusal as well. But I'm reading here, Varghese, that a policeman's gun was also snatched. So what good and how strong is the policeman actually on the ground? We were looking at those visuals just now that, barricading is there. People are being thoroughly checked. You're being made feel alienated in your own home. But a policeman's gun being snatched. Imagine this situation right now. The man's got a rifle. Imagine if the policeman's gun is simply just snatched and it's like turned on the policeman itself. Where will that sense of authority and discipline and punishment, it's got a very weird relationship, I'll tell you what. Negative reinforcement and discipline, they somehow, somewhere in some back alley channel go hand in hand as well, Varghese.
Well, I think right now all talks are happening in the back channel way, or rather the path, and therefore there needs to be some kind of an effort to bring it onto the mainstream, just to give some kind of assurance to the people who have been displaced. How many people have been displaced? And it is affecting even the neighboring states. Mizoram has got a lot of people from there. Assam has got a lot of people from Manipur. And Manipuris themselves are displaced within their own territory. People who had from the valley settled in the hills and from hills in the valley have all run back, leaving back whatever they had with them ever since this particular aspect of the violence had begun. And therefore now with stealing of weapons, it only makes it worse. And that is a cause of concern that I think everybody has. And but the fact remains is why peace is being not present in Manipur, even after such a long time, 4.5 months, and we still keep speaking about blockades.
CM Biren Singh has a huge task cut out against himself. Those two-pronged statements that did come out, that I will provide the security for these, Kukizo community MLAs, and on the other hand saying that it's the Congress's regime that's to be blamed for this particular thing. You, in fact, have there fresh violence, loot
Yeah,
of
I
arms,
was
rock
looking at the
Manipur
Hindustan.
before assembly
Yeah,
session.
the Hindustan Times. I was looking at fresh violence, loot of arms, rock Manipur before assembly session. Fresh violence rocked Imphal on Sunday as 3 houses were burned down and assault rifles were stolen from security personnel who, days ahead of an assembly session in strife-torn Manipur, were officers aware of the matter said. The flare-up heightened tension in the northeastern state and strained the fragile peace that was established against the backdrop of clashes between dominant Methi community and tribal Kuki community that have
Take a look at this.
left
Take a look at this.
155
we've
people
got
dead.
Ajay. We've got Ajay in the comment section saying violence in Manipur. Prime Minister should resign. Then only Manipur and entire India will be peaceful. See, then again, Ajay, with comments like these, it essentially does not put out anything. There is no solution here. Of course, apart from the idea that, I do get to understand that you're not a BJP supporter, clearly. Another Iris Mate, Iris Mate, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, saying that, hi, I'm from Manipur. About the peace in Manipur is, first of all, the valley peoples have to be surrendered their looted guns. Actually, right.
Which is very
something
true,
that
which
we're
is what
talking
you're
about
saying
as
is
well.
correct.
And they have to stop supporting their terrorists against tribal peoples. Again, thank you for joining us here in the comment
See,
section. and helping
there
us
are
out with
what
some sort of
the
solution.
person.
That one I buy. Arms and weaponry amongst the common folk. I mean, imagine in the national capital ahead of G20, if everybody had their own pistols, if everybody was carrying their own rifles in their own vehicles.
It's a security nightmare that we are looking at.
Absolutely.
And right now in Manipur, you have a security nightmare. And I agree with that comment saying that even extremist elements must not be supported because looting of guns, it has to be surrendered. But I would also say extremist elements in both the communities should not be let this
Right now, it might
grow.
give that Robin Hood feeling. Right now, it might give that security feeling. But trust you me, guerrilla warfare in the long run is not helping any village, is not helping any shanty, is not helping any community or any cultural group, let alone a tribal group. Killing and weaponry is not the answer, and war is not good for anything at all.